Today we are going to worship Radha Krishna. It's a very festive feeling because Shri Krishna came on this earth at a time when people had become extremely serious about religion, about spirituality, and that made the whole aspect of religion as a joyless achievement. And that's how people became very serious. Also, the attention of people was diverted into a kind of a drama which created aloofness from the society. People become individualistic, secretive, and all such people's children also became the same style. Because a kind of a fear perhaps developed among the people who were in pursuit of religion and truth. जरा हटा लो ये सब artificial पीछे के भी हटा लो. Now the family does make a difference and has a big influence on the personality of the people. So they got it from their parents, and then their grandchildren also got the same type of a feeling. So for 2000 years after Sri Rama went away, the whole situation became a very separate pursuit. And they would not tell each other what they have found. They did not tell even their parents what they are seeking, what they want. In this secretiveness, they got lost. And that's how there were lots of false gurus and false type of paths were discovered. Still, it was not so bad. But this aloofness made the society look so disintegrated. The collectivity was thus, even in the family it was not there. The father wouldn't talk to the son, he wouldn't talk to his wife, or maybe the wife may not talk to her children. They religiously followed, in India especially, followed the dharma part. But they went to the right side, I would say. In such an austere manner, they followed Gita without seeing through the lines what was written there. As I have told you many a times, that when he talked of Karma Yoga, he said that action should become non-action, akarma. How? He said, put everything at the lotus feet of Shri Krishna. But that never happened. You see, because unless and until you get your self-realization, you always think you are doing something. You are achieving something. And when you start doing like that, then you also start sometimes overpowering others, dominating others. And there is another group that starts thinking that I am being aggressed, I am so much in pain, in trouble. So there are two types of people developed. One aggressive type and another were the people who were absolutely crying and weeping. In those days, of course, after Krishna, before Krishna came, all these things were such. So Krishna started talking about the quality of a Sahajayogi. He said that Sahajayogi is a balanced person. For him, happiness and unhappiness has no meaning. Whatever he does, he feels it's all done by God Almighty. But you have to be Sahajayogi to be that way. Though he described as Sahajayogi, there were no Sahajogis at that time. Mostly people were extremely austere. They went to Himalayas and all the places for seeking truth. What Gita had told, they followed. So the another thing started was the Bhakti cult. In the Bhakti cult, when they moved in a collective, see, they thought we should have a Bhakti of Sri Ram. And in that Bhakti also, they were secretive. They wouldn't tell anybody what they were doing and what was it. But Shri Krishna came and he talked about Bhakti. That he said that you have to have Bhakti when it is absolutely surrendered to God. Ananya means that you are not the other. You become one. And this is what people missed it. Because they thought Ananya means complete, full, from the heart. It was not so. So Shri Krishna was also misunderstood by these people and they went to another extreme. With this Ananya Bhakti, now a big wave started at in Bengal only. And people used to run on the street, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, used to do all kinds of things all over, without understanding what he said about bhakti, how to have bhakti. Without connection, there is no bhakti according to. So some people got lost into that kind of a bhakti, which was not at all meant for your ascent, for your evolution. But with that, you see also so many saints who came, they didn't know what to tell people about because they couldn't give them realization. So they said you should remember God, you should remember the name of Sri Ram, Shri Krishna and all that. Especially in Maharashtra, there were many saints who said that try to remember the name of God. But it didn't mean just remember means just all the time to say, oh, do whatever you like and say, I remember God. So, you see, they also have failed that way, I should say, because they never understood what sort of human beings they were facing. Also, the saints became very intimidated by other priests and other people. So, in that we have two types of saints, where we have people who are talking of viraha, means separation from God. Even Ravindranath was like that to begin with. And then they start talking about the meeting of God. So these another type of saints were the real saints who talked about it. But very few people really showed any interest in becoming that. They would say, we have regard for this, we respect this, we believe in this, we believe in Shri Krishna. They used to go to a place called Pandharpur in Maharashtra. Everywhere you go, you'll find Shri Krishna's thing all over the country. Especially in Gujarat, because Shri Krishna ruled there, so they are all believers of Shri Krishna. What he came for was for God. He was talking about realization. He was talking about connection. So, in all these preachings, they could not read between the lines and they started doing on their own. In our, history, we have horrible things done in the name of Shri Krishna. Not only Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. We have a temple of Srinathji, and that temple was created for a deity which was very vibrating, was the deity of Shri Krishna when he ran away from the field of battle, Ranchordas. Now, when he ran away from the field of battle, it was because he wanted to deceive one monster and to get him killed. So, this Ranchordas state was very important because how he tricked this horrible monster and how he managed to take him to a cave where a saint was sleeping and who was given a sort of a boon that anybody who tries to wake you up, you can open your third eye and kill him. So Sri Krishna played a trick. He ran into his cave and this monster also ran after him, running away from the battlefield, and he put his shawl on top of this saint who was sleeping. So the monster came behind him. He said, "So now you are tired running and you're sleeping here." And he pulled the shawl. As soon as he pulled the shawl, this saint got up and he burnt. And that's how he killed this Rakshasa, the devil. So the lifestyle of Shri Krishna was very different from that of Rama. Rama was the one who accepted everything. He went to in the exile, and he also spent 14 years. Then he went out in search of his wife, and also his children did not accept him much. Now the aspect of Sri Krishna's life was very different. First thing, he came to know about human beings, that they are very cunning people. And if you tell them about God or anything, they will never accept. They will do the way they think about it. So he said, let us try the other way around. So he played a trick with his preaching that you have to do your karmas or your actions which become non-action, which is an impossible situation. And the second one, that your devotion should be ananya, when you are connected. Now, these two conditions nobody could fulfill, he knew. So they'll go on working on this, and at the time of Sahaja Yoga, they'll come round knowing that they have not achieved anything by practicing all those things, whatever Shri Krishna has said. But his lifestyle was different. When he came as a little boy, he first tried to kill all the monsters who were invading the Gokul, the place where he was living, in a different manner. He killed Putana, was a horrible woman. She was a Rakshasi whom he killed just by sucking her breast because she wanted to poison him with her poison, and that's how he killed. So this shows, you see, that first thing he took to was extreme aggressiveness against all the negative forces that were working, which Rama did not. Rama succumbed to everything, whatever has happened to begin with. Later on, then he killed Ravana. But as a child, he was a sweet little child, and lots of descriptions are there about him. So from very childhood, the attitude of Sri Krishna was more action as far as the negativity is concerned. And he killed many Rakshasas till he killed Kamsa. So the first part was killing these people because they were very aggressive and they were sucking the energy of the people and they were also becoming like megalomaniac, as you call that. They used to think no end of themselves. So you see, he killed their ego, he killed them, so many of them, and then he helped the Pandavas to establish the truth, to help the people who are truthful, who are for truth. But he could not give them realization. He didn't give them realization. Up to a point, he brought them to understand that always the truth wins. They call it Satyameva Jayate. Truth wins. This happened at the time when was very important to show that those negative forces cannot overpower, to show how useless they were, to show how they have been active and have been dominating and everybody had fear, but all of them were neutralized by them. That he can kill all these negative forces. This is one of his styles, which is very important for modern times now. Now in America, as you see, there are so many negative forces that have come up. They are in a different form, they are not like monsters, but they are, by temperament, are monsters. The collectivity that he preached through Rasa Leela and all that he brought in his, I should say, adolescent age, was also remarkable, that he made people dance together, pray together, to be festive, and to know that you are a witness. You are not a slave of religion or of your meditation, but you have to be festive. And he got this introduction of holy festivals and many others like Rakhi Bandhan. All this he brought in because he thought this is how the society will be cleansed and also they will have a lot of enjoyment. So the idea of enjoyment, he brought it into the lives of people. In a little childish pranks he used to play on people just to tease them and make them turn to something that was very great enjoyment. Now his enjoyment was enjoyment of the spirit, the enjoyment, pure enjoyment. You see, all these things reflected in the American life today, but in a perverted way. Now the sense of enjoyment in American life is absolutely perverted because it is self-destructive. Whatever they take to is self-destructive. You tell them anything, they'll say, what's wrong? Why all these gurus prospered there? Because they pampered the ego of Americans and said, it's all right. You can do whatever you like as long as you give us money. And this suited them very well. And they started doing all these things of a sort of, in a way, going into perversion. Like Rajneesh now. Rajneesh came to America and how people liked him. He had a Rajneesh Nagaram, this, that, and he established there with thousands and thousands of people. But then again Shri Krishna's power worked on him and he was defeated. Everywhere you find there are so many gurus like that. They all were defeated really by Shri Krishna's power because he has all the tricks of the trade. He knows how to make fool out of them. Just imagine this Rajneesh was so powerful and an idea came into his head that he can become the lord of that place or whatever it is, and they conspired. But it's over, finished. One must know how much also we have achieved. Then was another one, Muktanand, and this 16-year-old fellow, so many of them. One by one, all of them are finished. I would say that it is Shri Krishna's power that has worked. Because his lifestyle was from the very beginning like that, was that to kill all those who were negative. Now if you see in America, I think except for one or two leftovers, most of them are finished. Now there's one more who will be finished also, I'm sure, within no time. And you will see that the influence of these people, negative people will be finished. But as a result of all that, what has happened that people have lost faith in anyone. They have no faith in anyone. They think if these people could deceive us like that, take away our money, we have no money even to educate our children, we have sold our houses. So all these things, you see, made them absolutely flabbergasted. And they decided not to have anything to do with the gurus who are coming from India. And that goes against us in a way. But all of them, see, what they did, we should find out, is that to make a very absurd, queer type of organization. We are not, we are very normal, absolutely normal people. We haven't made any absurd type of religion or absurd type of following or absurd type of meditation like you'll fly in the air and all sorts of things. But the people of America are not so matured to understand. Otherwise, they would not have fallen to these horrible gurus. So, on one side, we have people who are very much affected by these gurus. On the other side, we have people who think that I must be also one of them. And on the third aspect is this, that the people are extremely simple and extremely, I should say, immature. They are like children. So many Americans also told me they are like children. And to approach them, you have to say that a mother's love can only put them right. Now, as far as I am concerned, that was the first country I should say I visited for any program. In 1971, I went. So you can imagine we got realization this Swastra Day on 1970 and went to America in 1971. And I gave realization to people, no doubt, to many. But what I felt was that they didn't care for deeper things, firstly. So we lost many Sahajayogis like that. Then there were some people who were sick, they wanted their treatment, that's all, nothing more. Then came some people who were taken away, I should say, by other bombastic gurus who told them lots of stories and they claimed so much. So many joined them. Like that it was, I found that the people were absolutely not prepared for Sahaja. They were seekers, no doubt, they were seekers. And they had that restlessness of a seeker, no doubt. But they were not, for Sahaja, they didn't know what to seek, what to get. That was the part where I felt very immature. So after that I didn't go for 9 years, because I thought better devote your time to something else till these people mature and understand what's wrong with them. Now they have been to gurus and they are lost. There are some who have this restlessness. I see in many things, the articles they write, sometimes the books they write, that there is this kind of a restlessness which is very important for Sahajayogis. Most of you have been seekers in last lives and you had this restlessness. But with this restlessness, you didn't know what to do, where to go. And with that restlessness, some people went even up to Japan, some Australians came up to America, and all kinds of things happened. That restlessness you cannot describe. But these gurus found a good market, so they came down and tried to overpower. With this restlessness, you see, it was very reasonable, logical to see that you go to somebody, do you get rid of your restlessness or not? Minimum of minimum. But that never happened. So when it never happened, you see, they thought that this is missing. Somebody said, no, you have to have another program or you have to go through another course, this, that. So they went on falling more and more and more. At the same time, negativity of immorality took place. Though if you read the Constitution of America, you'll be amazed. In very subtle ways, it has just supported complete morality. I mean, I was surprised there's a law that when you go out of the house, you cannot wear funny dresses. When you are in the swimming suit also, that is regulated. And nobody can be absolutely nude. Like in Italy, you can find on television such things. So, you see, the Constitution was made with great idea of morality. I mean, the whole basis was people have to become moral. But always if you make any law, human beings have a capacity just to sort of blast it, to say, why this law? I don't want anything. And that's how the idea of control started. How can you control? How can you say one should not do like that? Now this explosion started in the family also, and the children started disobeying the parents. The parents themselves were the same style. Now then the children become the same style. Now the whole thing started exploding, and they thought there's no freedom. Those who don't know how to use freedom should not get any freedom, I think. They must know what is freedom is. Those who respect freedom and understand freedom can only be free people. So in that freedom, with this explosion, they were thrown out. And they started taking to lives which are really absolutely absurd. Calling it most reasonable, most logical. So, the people became homosexuals. It's absurd. It's not natural at all. It is absolutely absurd. But when this idea of freedom exploded in them, then all the booths came to curb their freedom. And it's from the booths they got these ideas. And in such a large scale, they are taking it. It's very surprising. Such a large scale, these booths are affecting and people are getting into it. As a result of that, we started getting all these diseases and all. The worst was, I would say, that at that same moment, the most negative personality from Austria was Freud. He was a Jew and he was not respected by the people of Americans at that time. So he got hold of some Jews and all that, and then he made up this story about the mother and all that. And he's the one who ruined their lives. Because as soon as they became free, they thought anybody who writes anything black and white is the Bible. They started following this fellow and some others also from France. And just it's a sign of complete immaturity. A mature person won't take to this or won't take to that. I've talked to some Americans at that time, and they were not Sahajogis, not seekers, I think. They said, we enjoy every part of life. See, we never have any problem. We enjoy everything. We do this, we do that. The enjoyment is important. 100% our life is full of enjoyment. Now, after that phase, I think this was so when they came to India about 1960s or 50s, they're talking like that. Now they're talking about all the problems they are facing out of these enjoyments. They say that 65% people might become schizophrenic, 30% will become lunatic. Who are left normal then? I can't understand. All kinds of statistics you see, you are shocked. How could such a big number of human beings get into trouble of this kind? And the diseases they have is also very funny. That they have most of the diseases of Muladhara, where the constitution is based on Muladhara. England has no constitution at all, but they believe more in Muladhar than the people in America. So there, because when I was like, see, wife of a diplomat, I found such a wretched uh, temperament these ambassadors and all these diplomatic people had. I couldn't believe how could they be at the helm of affairs. And from America especially, they would wink at every woman and they would twitch on their faces. It's, and the way they would talk about women was so degrading, so demeaning. And also, women would talk about men. I told you the story, the one who came to England and she wanted to see a pub and she told me, have you visited this particular pub? I said, what? And then her two sons, when she went back, she told me we are very free, we gave all freedom to the children, do what you like. And they were celebrating, these two children were celebrating their birthday and they had a party with lots of drinks and the whole house got burned, the children were dead and the parents were dead. She went to see the pub and she had a list of the interesting pubs that there are in England. I mean, this interest in the pub itself shows what sort of a personality she was. She had two children, she had a husband. Husband was a very big man of a very high repute and all that, and his wife was like that. He also used to join. Yes, we gave all freedom to our children. We asked them to do what they like. But they must enjoy life. Now, enjoyment at what point? Where do you enjoy? You enjoy in your heart. You can enjoy in your sastra. But with Muladhara, there is no question. Because if you go on like this, there is no end to it. And that has created now tremendous problems in America. I know I feel very sorry. That was the first country I went to because I could see that there are lots of seekers. But all of them were not there. Some had gone to this guru, some had gone to that guru. And there is one lady actress, she came to my program and she noted down what I was saying and she used it for her own purpose and she started teaching Sahaja Yoga. It's beyond me how they are also very money oriented. To them, money is success, money is joy, money is everything. Now, this third quality, from where did it come, I can't say, but at the time of Shri Krishna, people were very money oriented. In the sense that they used to take their milk to sell, milk and butter and everything to sell in the kingdom of Kamsa, who was a devil. So he used to break their pitchers so that they did not take. But just to make money, they would starve their children, but to make money, they used to take this to the monsters, because he had lots of armies and things and they needed milk. So these women would not give milk to their own children, would not give them butter, but would take all that for these horrible. So that money orientation you see now. I mean, it is like a shadow and the light. If light is Shri Krishna, see what you find in the shadow. It's just the other way down, people be. He was such a detached person, that he can never commit any wrongs, he could not do any immoral things. Whatever he did was absolutely moral, because if you are detached and you are doing something, then nothing touches you. He brought in this idea of Leela, of this play, the play of the divine. Now we see in our lives also how the play of divine works. The Sahajayogis first when they come, they are really restless. And they go on asking me 100 questions, or they start also dominating others, doing all kinds of things. But once they get the experience of the divine power, then they start settling down. Now then they see that there are so many coincidences that happen, so many miracles that happen. Then they start understanding that there is some power which is looking after us, which is guiding us, which is taking us to the right path. So unless and until this happens, that this understanding, even before realization, if people start getting this realization that there is a power that is helping us, something beyond what we know, then things will start change. Now, we have to work out in America, we have to tell them, and we have to tell that this is the power that is beyond, is wanting to transform you. There is going to be a global transformation. I can see it so clearly now. In every country I go, I see this, that it works. It works. Whether it is a Turkish country, or it is Tunisia, or if it is Russia, any country I go to, all those people who come, it works. This global transformation I never thought I'll be able to see in my lifetime, but has really reached its highest, I would say, I think so, is the highest point of development. So you are all transformed. This was predicted long time back in India, and also I must say it must have predicted somewhere else also. Now when you start feeling the vibrations and you start using it, then you understand that there is this power, it works. Now then you start seeing energy centers of Swambhus and all that. Then you start understanding this. Goes on, your understanding increasing. But first thing is that they have to believe that there is a power beyond. They may not believe in Kundalini, doesn't matter. But once you know there is a power beyond, then they'll try to work it out. And this is what is very, very difficult, to convince people that there is a power behind. Because they are so conditioned by science, also by their family traditions, also all nonsensical ideas about ego, that they cannot see, this the point is, that the nature is helping. Now why America is such a rich country? Why? They never ask such a question. Why is it so rich? What have they done? What are their punyas? One of the reasons is that Shri Krishna is Cabella. He is doing his job, I should say. He is working it out. But people not understanding that this is a divine blessing, they think that this is their right to have it, and they boast about it. They're very boastful people. Talk about their own wealth, they'll talk about everything. It's a very different situation and a culture. For in India, if somebody starts boasting about his wealth, they'll think he must be mad, coming from lunatic asylum. Because it's regarded as bad manners. So there's nothing like bad manners, you see, in the West as it is, but the worst is in America. I mean, they can abuse their father with a very dirty word. All the time they are using, even the judges, I saw one film in which a judge used a dirty word. I didn't know much of that meaning, but it was not a good word that he used. So they become sort of, what's wrong type of people with this arrogance. I don't know how we are going to convince them about such. I'm going to try also something like approaching these top class people to talk to them about it. Maybe, you see, they might feel influenced that these top class people have taken, so maybe there's something about surgery. I wonder if they would talk about us so much. what is Sahajayoga is, what it is can do to this country. Because we have to really save this country. It is from all the side is under attack, from all the side. Take morality part, it is under attack. You take from the artist point of view, it is under attack. They are not creating many artists there. I went to see their paintings, the latest paintings with modern painting and all that. They haven't got the depth at all. It's all full of filthy things about it, and they talk about absolutely filthy things. There is one artist from India. He went to America. And when I saw his painting, I was surprised. He said, "What are you doing?" He said, "This is what sells here." I said, "And what about India?" He said, "No, they will never touch it. It's horrible." He himself knows. But he said, "This will sell here," so he has made it like that. It's a point of judgment. Whether you think it is worth selling or not is the point. Now, whom do you sell? To these people who are not mature enough, who are so much enticed by the Muladhara problem. How can you help them? How can you bring them around? It is a question of people maturing, for which, of course, this Param Chaitanya will help. I am sure the way yesterday you felt it, I am sure Param Chaitanya has to do something about it. It has to work it out. It has to enter into different dimensions in human beings to understand, like creating coincidences and all that, and then bringing them down to Sahaja. Can work out, no doubt. Also, Sahajogis must work there. I know there are very few, and that's why they were upset about it, because they have been really working very hard, and it didn't work out there. So they feel that there's something basically wrong. I've told you already what is wrong with them is this, that they lack maturity as far as evolution is concerned. Even those who have come now to Sahaja have done very well. There are, of course, some who I would say not yet so much of it. So, what we have to do is to get to reality, to know what the problem is really and what we can do about it. Now, so many European leaders, or we can say European Sahajas, are free because I am not going there to Europe. So they should take charge also and can go sometimes and have some sort of a program, conference, whatever you want, and get in contact with them and talk to them in such a manner that they do feel that this is something very remarkable, uh, something very much what they wanted, something that is the future of the whole world. So this global transformation is taking place, and you have to talk on those lines little strongly. But with media we had very bad experiences because we arranged a hall and we spent a lot of money there, and not one person came from meeting, not one. So we didn't know what to do. We had prepared so much food, everything, and everything was wasted. Not one person from the media came. So also we can start a kind of a newspaper, could be some sort of a media of having cable TV or something like that, by which we can propagate Sahaja Yoga, tell them what good it has done, what it can do. It's a quite a mad place because they have so many books, everything is so much, every number is so much that if you write a book also, I don't know where will it be lost. Now for today, I have to announce that my book is ready now. I have done it and I would like to publish it now so that it will be available to you and I'm sure you'll enjoy. Not only that, but it will help you to understand the problems of the West. I have not dealt in that the problems of the East, but I have dealt in that with the problems of the West, what problems they have, and how to tackle them. So this book they will be bringing now and showing you. We'll see how it is published and how people like it. That part I'm not doing. I would say I would not have liked to write a book like that, to be very frank, because for a person like me, I should only write all the splendor of spirituality, all the beauty of heavens, everything, all poetic things. But I thought reality is very different and people must be told what is the reality. So I ventured to write this. Otherwise, I would have liked to write something like Amrutanubhav, written by Ganeshwara. But there's no controversy, nothing, just sweetness and just overflowing compassion. I would have been very happy. But that doesn't work out, you see. It will float in the air, I think. So I thought first I must write this book and point out where are we wrong and to make you aware of it. Then what we can do is to have another book I could have with all my experiences with Sahajogis and Sahajayoga. Would be another interesting thing. One of the defects of these incarnations that they never wrote a book themselves. You see, Christ never wrote any book, Krishna never wrote any book, Rama never wrote any book. They knew how to read and write, but they never wrote. And then we have people like Nanaka, who has written, not himself so much as he has compiled all the great literature of the realized souls. All right. Then, still what happens is something that they just read it word by word, then they have to finish in 2.5 days the whole thing. So one person reads it, puts the finger at one point, finished. Then another one comes, starts from there, puts the finger, here it is finished. Nothing goes in the head, you see, that's the problem is. Same with Muhammad Sahib, he never wrote. If he had himself written the book, it would have been very different. But somebody else in the fifth Khalifa, who was a very cruel and a bad man, who wrote it. Same thing has happened with the Bible. So you see, it's like such a great diamond is put in the mud. And everywhere there are complications because of this. You cannot blame these great people. But the only thing that is happening is all bad name is coming to them. They are not the ones who wrote anything wrong. They are not the ones who would say anything wrong. But if the book falls into the hands of some people who are absolutely adharmic, who are cruel, then this is what happens. Now you see what's happening with Catholic Church. You see what's happening with Muslims. Everywhere you find there is violence, there is corruption, and there is fighting. This is no religion. Nobody could have preached that thing. But it is doing that way, so now you all stand out of all this, where you love each other, you care for each other, you enjoy everything. Despite that, your enjoyment is absolutely pure. And this is what is to be seen by others, and it can work out. I'm sure one day in America, we will be there very successful.
Shri Ganesha's mantra.
Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Namaste Ganapataye Tvameva Pratyaksham Tattvamasi Tvameva Kevalam Bhartasi Tvameva Kevalam Bhartasi Tvameva Kevalam Bhartasi Tvameva Sarvam Kavidam Brahmasi Tvam Sakshat Atmasi Nityam Rutam Vashmi Satyam Vashmi Ava Tvamam Ava Vakaram Ava Shrotaram Ava Dhataram Ava Bhartam Ava Nushanam Ava Shisham Ava Pashatat Ava Purastat Avo Taratat Ava Darshinatat Ava Chodvatat Ava Dharatat Sarvatomam Pahi Pahi Samantat Tvam Maya Tvam Chinmaya Tvam Ananda Maya Tvam Brahma Maya Tvam Sachitananda Dvityosi Tvam Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvam Jnana Mayo Vijnana Mayosi Sarvam Jagadidam Tato Jayate Sarvam Jagadidam Vatasi Sati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvahi Hayameshyati Sarvam Jagadidam Tvahi Pratyati Tvam Bhumi Rapo Nalo Nilo Nava Tvam Satvari Vakpadani Tvam Gunatrayatita Tvam Dehatrayatita Tvam Kalatrayatita Tvam Muladhara Sthitosi Nityam Tvam Shakti Trayamaka Tvam Yogino Dhyayanti Nityam Tvam Brahma Tvam Vishnu Tvam Rudra Tvam Indra Tvam Agni Tvam Vayu Tvam Surya Tvam Chandrama Tvam Brahma Bhurva Swaram Ganadim Purvam Chaya Varnadim Taranantaram Anushvara Paratara Atenu Rasitam Karina Rabdam Etatava Manushvarupam Rakara Purva Rupam Akaro Manya Rupam Anushvara Chantya Rupam Viduruddhara Rupam Nada Santanam Salita Sandhi Sasha Ganesha Vidya Ganakarishi Nishri Gayatri Chanda Ganapati Devatam Om Yam Ganapate Namaha Ekadantaya Vidmahe Vakratundaya Dhimahi Tano Danti Prachodayat Ekadantam Chaturastam Pashamankusharayanam Radam Chavardam Hastay Vipranam Mushakrajam Raktam Lambodram Shurpa Karnakam Rakta Vasasam Rakta Gandhanuritamam Rakta Pushpahi Supujitam Bhaktanukampinam Devam Jagat Karanamachyutam Avirbhutam Cha Susidyam Prakrute Purushat Param Devam Jarektiyo Nityam Sa Yogi Yoginam Vara Namo Ratapataye Namo Ganapataye Namah Brahmatapataye Namaste Astu Lambodharaya Ekadantaya Vijnanashine Shivasutaya Shri Varadamurtaye Namaha साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Married ladies from different countries. 14 married ladies.
Can we have all of the country leaders up on the stage, please? All the country leaders.
Also world leaders.
Hindi 32.
Krishna Govinda Govinda
Seven married ladies. Siete mujeres casadas. Seven married ladies. Seven married ladies from America. Seven married ladies from America. North and South America.
Pradeep, can you come to the stage? Pradeep.
Mahamani. Hindi 64. Durga Puja.
Marathi 36.
तुझा पूजनी अर्चनी लीन भावे तुझे निर्मला नाम आम्ही स्मरावे तुझा पूजनी अर्चनी लीन भावे तुझे निर्मला नाम आम्ही स्मरावे
Hindi, Hindi is 67. Vishwaran.
Mi minor tamam. Mi minor et la
सबको दुआ देना, हाँ सबको दुआ देना। जय निर्मला माता जी, जय निर्मला माता जी, दिल में सदा रहना, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना, सबको दुआ देना।
जगत पराब्रह्म स्वरूपिणी माता जी श्री निर्मला देवी की जय।